Recording in process. Tzili, hi.
Okay, welcome. Tzuzamen,
Tzuzamen,
Tzipi,
Tzili.
Eitan Zur,
Eitan Tzur.
director.
What do you mean director? Mega. Mega director.
Israeli director, big TV shows.
I think he did the most. Most in numbers.
I don't know.
Television. I will ask him why
Eitan,
they make features.
More.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure it's the most. It's about 15, I think.
Oh.
15 different
But
series.
15 series, right.
Yeah. Well, we were
one feature.
One feature.
We were contemplating between Hebrew and English, and you chose English. And I know it's hard for you to choose while you're outside of the set. Why it's so hard for you to choose, and why you chose English?
I think why it's hard for me to choose. It's something that I guess maybe I don't know. It's something that I was born with, or I don't believe in how do you call I'm Moznaim. How do you say?
You sure you want us to see your knee?
Why not?
No.
Why not?
Because look how pretty is
he
it.
Also wants to smoke, and
you can smoke. You can smoke. Okay. I don't care.
How do you say Moznaim in English?
You know, in the way. Wait, kind of.
The one before Scorpio.
Right.
Yes, the one before Scorpio. And after the Virgin.
Yeah. The Virgin and the Scorpio.
I don't believe in it, but it's something that they say about this month, and I get it as an excuse to the fact that it's really hard for me to decide. And while I'm on the set, something suddenly, sometimes in the pre-production, but mostly on the set, I feel it's part of the thing that I feel like a different person there. Not different in a way that I think, if I may say, that I maximize my abilities on the set, which some of them are not so present when I'm not on the set. Maybe that's why I want to be on the set all the time.
Is it because also that when you see something, only when you see something, you know if it's right or wrong?
Yes. It's also why
a rose is a rose is a rose, I guess.
Yeah. And even there was a plan before and shooting, only when I see it on and I so got used to the monitor that for example, I don't.
in a book, yeah.
Oh, you watch the monitor, right?
All the time. What's not in the monitor is nothing for me. And
you don't look at the black of the eyes of your actors?
No. Yes, but in the monitor.
But it is different, no?
Yes, it's different, but that's finally what's people gonna see. So that's what I'm watching, and I don't do a lot of rehearsals because rehearsals for me it's like kind of theater, and usually actors in Israel, because we don't have enough time, they're not really prepared for rehearsal. They don't know the text. So for me, it's like a kind of a theater.
I don't think it's because of time. I think it's attitude. It's
both. I think the attitude changed, but
actors want to talk to you about motivation and the bank of emotion and you know the journey. And when do you do it? On the set is like
no, I'm doing I'm doing mostly reading.
Oh, you do the reading?
I do reading. Reading is very important because this is the first time I hear the text, the script in the actors, and then we discuss the text a lot or the script. I don't like to talk a lot about motivations and past of the character, and because it's not came from ideology or anything. I don't have a really strict method for the way I work. I just by my experience, I feel that I see and feel the things on the set, on the monitor, and by the reactions or the face of the actor.
But you write your
I think I learn how to if I say it, how to what kind of expression or not even expression, sometimes technical, when they look at each other, when they look outside, when they look to know what kind of mimics give what kind of emotion and feeling. So
Body language.
some of the actors, they have difficulty with this kind of because they want to talk. Usually, they want to talk about the character, and I say, okay, I'm trying to be polite and to answer or to think with them, but mostly and it's not that I feel that there is a right way for an actor. You can, like the cliche with Dustin Hoffman and Laurence Olivier in Marathon Man, that Dustin Hoffman used to run all the time. That's the legend, yeah, and because he wanted to be prepared for the role, and Laurence Olivier asked him, "Why don't you just act?"
Oh my God,
So it's
humiliating.
yeah.
So tell me, do you direct? Do you write
no.
yourself? Do you write?
No, unfortunately, I'm not writing.
So maybe
And,
there is a connection. Maybe there is a connection, because if you're a writer and you write your own, which is, I don't know if it's good or bad, common in Israel, the writer-director thing, then you sit for, I don't know how many months or year, and you write a screenplay and you feel you really know the character and you had time to, and now you come to the set and, well, the actor will bring themselves into, no, you like to bring what you...
but I feel that I have this intuition to I think it's a good thing about the difference between writer and for example, when I get some stuff to read about a new series that they want me to direct, and usually they send the Bible and the characters and the chapter, I usually skip to the chapter. I'm not reading like what the writer think or what he wanted to say or what kind of characters. I want to understand the characters from reading, because eventually that's the way that spectators will feel towards the characters or will understand the characters.
So you judge them by the action?
If it's not of the script, yes, I'm judging by the action and by all kinds of, sometimes you can call it even, I don't have a better word for something technique. It doesn't mean that I don't get emotions or feeling, but it's sometimes on really small remarks that has nothing to do with the past of the character or
So you speak mostly about blocking, about where they move or where they look or how they relate to the space.
It's not. I think it's not blocking, because it's usually most of my remarks are on this part,
Wow.
which doesn't concern blocking.
Right. You know, there is a whole theory.
The human face. Yeah.
There is a whole theory. I think his name is Bela Balaz, and he wrote a book only about facial expression and the importance of facial expression in cinema, which is, you're right, it's the most powerful, engaging.
Yes, and it's not come to me as a method or something I decided, and I don't usually. I don't. I can say I don't like, but I don't know a lot of methods or working methodically.
So it's intuitive.
It's much more of an intuition, I think, and because I'm doing it for the last 30 years, my experience showed that it works.
Yeah. So how dominant are you a pro, or you value the visualization on your relationship with the cameraman, or you leave the cameraman freedom to decide, camera movement, whatever?
Usually, sometimes it's different between different cameramen. It depends on them as well. Usually, I'd like to see a kind of suggestion.
Okay.
From the cameraman for blocking, for shooting, and then again, like in acting, only when I see it,
Right.
I have problems imagining
Yeah,
shots.
I understand that. Right.
But,
So you look for
when I see it, I have things to say usually.
So you look at the viewfinder of the camera? I mean, you look at the lenses?
No.
Oh, just you sit like, oh, you don't?
only in the you see everything in the monitor, which is
Yeah, the
exactly
framing, how he frames and everything. Right.
yes, how it frames and everything, and then sometimes I can ask you. I do understand because I can ask you for a different lens, from a different position, from a different. And usually I start with kind of the first real blocking is on the set. Also, the fact that the reason that I'm not doing it during rehearsal is because also I don't believe that you can do it if you're not on the exact location of what's really been shot.
Eitan, I want to take you a little bit outside of the set. Over the last 30 years, you directed few of the leading series in Israel, from the Hamishia
The most influential, you mean?
What's the, how do you call it in English? The
Chamber Quintet.
The Chamber
Quintet.
Quintet, and then
Which is the executive translation. Yeah.
And the Burganim.
The bourgeois.
Yes, and the series on the no, the southern part of Tel Aviv. Remember?
Yeah, Florentine.
Florentine.
Asylum City.
Yes.
How do you call it?
Asylum City.
Oh, really?
Miklat.
You know, I wanted to walk with you from one chapter to another. How do you see the changes in the Israeli society and the politics and the handling of what's going on? Because
through the series.
From the series, because it's very dynamic, you know, and things change so fast.
It's a very good and tough question. I must say that in general, I may say that things for the last 30 years didn't really change, unfortunately. I think, you know, in some, Chamber Quintet was a sketch show and satire show.
Right.
And from time to time, when something happened, suddenly one of the sketches is going around in all the media. And they say, how could you predict 30 years ago what's going to happen?
The same.
And how strong it is that it's still working. And for me, it's part of kind of a tragedy. Because the fact that it's still working, it's not because
you predicted it.
We predicted the future. Yeah. It was. I just said few. There are a lot of. I did 2 interviews the last 2 weeks because it's 30 years for the second channel, the commercial channel in Israel.
Right.
And the Chamber Quintet was aired on the first day of the second channel. And then, yes, and then the Bourgeoisie is one of the main series that happened in Keshet, in channel, second channel. And I said that the sheet was there already. I mean, it's not something.
No, the sheet is not new. We're not.
New.
It's not new, just more up there. Yeah.
And not only it's not new, like one of the main issues, as you probably know, and the occupation. It's not only that it's not new; it's already old news.
Yeah,
it's not on the table,
and almost no one talk about it.
No one, yeah, it's not on the table. Unbelievable.
Too many generations were born into it. Yeah.
When you pick up, or people come to you or offer you, or if you initiate, there is a through-line a through-line question that intrigues you, that you want to find some answers through, you know, either Florentine, or in each show you do. There is a through line, there is something that cuts through, and you keep asking the same question, and you keep asking.
I'm not, I tell you what, I don't think I ask questions because I don't think that art can provide answers.
That's depressing.
Yeah, I know.
You stop doing art if you cannot find answers, no? Or
I'm a depressed guy.
He doesn't even expect to find answers.
No, he raises questions.
Yeah, but he doesn't expect to get even answers. It's so complicated, huh?
Yeah, I think when I made the Chamber Quartet, I wasn't so young. I was 30 years old, but I was younger. And I think usually the strongest satire are made by young people because they still believe they can change, or there is some kind of great importance to what they say or what they do. I think it's complicated. I think now I think I'm doing what I'm doing for a couple of reasons. One of them is only personal. It's like something that Bet Michael said, that it's helping with my ulcus, how you say,
Impulse, right?
my personal, like I'm doing something or I'm dealing with something that bother me, and also to show the people that think like you or feel like you that are not alone.
Yeah,
So,
wow.
yeah, I used to
Wow.
think this is a
That's
kind
very
of
fantastic.
a very small minority, but I think what's happened now in Israel shows that it's not such a minority.
Right.
Even though I think that some of the like the bourgeoisie were a lot about the people who are now demonstrating. That
Right.
after all these years, they realize that what's
They were
going on.
sitting on the fence. Right.
Yes, and even there, about the part of the quiet, the silent part of the occupation in this demonstration, in this movement is also something that I think when I go there, I feel a minority
Right.
in this. It's a mixed emotions. It's exciting to see all these people, but then I realize that I feel that I'm a minority even in this big group, like 1,000, 2,000
Yeah.
people who come to demonstrate, and it's frustrating. But so it's not the answers I'm finding. It's or not even I'm not sure it's a question. It's a kind of also I believe I'm not a religious person, but I think there is some kind of historical
Yes.
core,
Right.
not of people, of humanity. And I think it's important that this kind of voices, I know I doesn't sound modest, but I think it's important that all these kind of voices
Right.
will be there.
But Tzipi, you really think that art can bring
This is what I
answers?
tell my students. I tell them, if you have to pick up the torch and you should change. They are filmmakers, right? At NYU. You're filmmakers, you're a storyteller.
But I'm
You're a
not.
storyteller. I
But
mean,
I
what?
don't know that art can bring answers. I think it
If
can
it's
raise
engaging,
questions and
yeah, but
put focus
I'm
on
trying,
doesn't
excuse me,
do, you
I'm
go
trying to
into,
improve one second, I'm trying to improve the light.
that's okay. Nice background. Uh,
not good.
wait, maybe yes, he knows what to say. It's a bit, yeah,
Not good.
it is good. It is, but
It's too
sometimes
dark.
the focus is blurry.
I will try not to move.
Don't
And,
move,
and,
but
and I
keep
smoke.
keep breathing. So I do
Good.
tell students, wherever you go, because once you're a filmmaker, you can change your mind, go and be a physician or I don't care what. Then everything you do is storytelling. And if you tell it in an engaging way and your intent is clear and you touch people, you must move them at least an inch.
You can raise their attention, but I don't think you can give them really answers.
I must say that for the last few years, it's something that I don't think about Israel society. I think even like take the 60s, for example. I don't think the protest movement uh, draw out America from Vietnam. I think it's because you say the Americans lost the war. And I think it was like all these ideas of the 60s and all these strong songs that I
You
still
think
like
Bob
them.
Dylan, John Baez didn't move anything?
I think they move something, but I don't think they have the impact like I used to think before. And also um, I saw also here what happened with all kind of protest songs and the way they immediately got into some kind of commerce. He's so and cynic about. I think politicians and they're making a change, and
You can, I think you
and not
can
only
say
politicians, people in high places, milliarders. I think they're making a change.
it's a combination because I
Sure.
think you can change the atmosphere in the street. I mean, you can do things that will create an atmosphere that would push maybe the politicians, but the politicians basically make the decisions and pull everybody with them. So the more you have it in the streets, it will collaborate much better. But I don't think that the solutions can come through art or culture, but it's a very important venue to discuss it, to bring it in various ways. How much you worried?
I can say also about like, because I did a lot of satire and because Asylum
Satire.
City satire and Asylum City is about refugees in Tel Aviv, and I don't want to be rude, but after each show, who gives a fuck?
Nobody give a shit, right?
But
Also not about the Israeli Arabs.
but Eitan, how much you worried about the character of your profession next?
The changes that will be in the media?
The changes with the government and the
Right.
changes with the atmosphere, the changes with the decisions and the budgets and the
Look, I'm worried in general as a person, and I'm worried from so many things that's um, artists are completely part of it. I mean, from the things, from what I'm worried about, from what's going on. I think that even for I don't know, it can be changed, all what's going on now. But I think this change is not. It can be a different government. It can be a government of center, a government of. I don't think it would be a left government anymore in Israel, but it can be a more less extreme and more to the center. But I don't think before we solve some kind of basic um, issues,
Like
I
what?
don't think that. I think first the conflict with the Palestinians or the occupation, as you call it, the relationship between religion and country. I think in these two both issues,
Right.
really pessimistic, and it's also because sheer demographic issues.
But
I
you
have
know
one.
it's interesting
right.
because when we make a series about the ultra orthodox side, and it's good, our side is watching it and loves it. What you do on your side is not being watched probably on the other side. So there's no crossover, for half of the population.
Yes, but I think I think there are some very good series, but I think we see it as part of our historical emotion towards all the generations that were before us, and also some kind of Yiddishkeit or exotic society. It's not with the basics. I think to deal with people that believe that the authority not come from leaders of our government, but from someone who is above in the sky and believe that he sends some rules to people, and this is their it's not really, you can't compromise, you can't, there is no I've been to a meeting with some of, leaders of settlements in the West Bank a few years ago. We are a few creators from different fields, some writers, some famous one. And one of the rabbis there, which is, he was very, he was not extreme, It was not. But he said, "Look, we are not talking in the same terms. We are looking at eternity. It's not something that we can really discuss or agree, and that's the problem. It should be some
It's
kind of
interesting. They don't think about now, and you show them about the human condition, existence, you know, and then they look, as you say, they don't look for now. What's going on now? They don't care. It's an amazing idea. I never thought about it. Yeah, very revealing. So why don't you do documentary?
I made some chapters in documentary about Israeli rock music, Sofonat Tapuzim.
Right. But
Because
this
I
is
really
like art. It is not like probing deep issues.
yeah. There's some reasons for it. First, I'm not sure I'm good at it, and you know, I'm trying to stick with what I know. And also, there is part of the commentaries that I feel uncomfortable to take people and to
Okay.
do you know what I mean? I mean,
Yeah. It can be manipulation or kind of taking
yes, and even
advantage.
if
Right.
it's
I
not
feel it many
manipulation, I
times.
think yeah, I think no one who took part in or taking part in these films know exactly the way that the director later is going to.
Well, I'm not.
I think manipulation.
I trust you. Manipulation is it's in a different way, because if you are a good documentarist, you do try to tell the story as is and not manipulate it. But I mean more that many times people are not aware the impact of
Yeah,
being a documentary on their lives.
That's what I mean.
They're not aware. They not understand the power of the camera, really.
I made one documentary with an actor. When I made the Israeli version of The Office,
Okay.
one of the main characters, I watched him and I felt that I felt something about him.
I feel that you will be good to take the camera and shoot a documentary, not to go alone. I think you will be good, according to what you told us. You may not agree with me, to pick up a camera and go.
No, so I give you this example, even though we make it together, and I felt it's a long story. I will make it short. I realized it is post-traumatic.
Oh.
Okay. And at the beginning, he of course denied, like many of the post-traumatic. He say, "I don't know what you're talking about." And a few weeks later, he went to the same psychologist that I went in the army as a post-traumatic myself. And then he suggested that we make a film about a motorcycle journey to the Himalaya with people who are also post-traumatic. And we made to this journey. It took like 3 weeks. And I felt when I tried to interview people or I felt uncomfortable. And I felt that it's you know, the camera is doing something.
Yeah.
And it's not real, you know, reality in a way. And
that's
but
very
I think
interesting.
it's not what I think about documentary as general. I like documentaries, and I saw a lot of very, very good documentaries. And for me, it's embarrassed me in a way.
So how come you made only one motion?
By the way, the other reason is it's so not
economic.
Oh.
It usually takes a very, very long time with a lot of effort. And
yeah, the editing is terrible. It takes a year.
The editing is
right. And there is not enough space on television even. I mean, the main Many networks don't even hardly show any documentaries. So this is one of the reasons why you don't make motion pictures? I mean, a film?
I think the main reason
You made
I'm not
one, right? You made one.
yeah, I made one. The reason I'm not doing more, actually, when I studied, I was sure that cinema is going to be my
Yeah.
field. I called the Chamber Quintet the first TV show that as an historical accident. Because I like cinema very much, and I went to learn cinema because I like cinema. But I think the main reason in Israel that I'm not doing feature films is because I'm not writing. And if you're not writing and you depend on scripts that you get, it's really difficult. Or if you have your idea and you want to find a scriptwriter who will join you and try to help you to tell the story that you want to tell, it's really rare because the good writers are writing their own stuff.
Right.
And usually there is not a lot of money for development or for this. The only reason I was able to do Asylum City is because before it I did two series back to back. That both of them were I was like a director for hire, which is less work because I got the script already and I'm directing, and it's not like it can take half a year and not 1 year and a half or two. So then I tried to develop Asylum City, which took from the original idea, it took 6 years, but then I think
Wow.
3 years, 2 years of work that were not paid, trying to find the writer, trying to develop the story. But usually to develop a feature film or to write or to,
Oh, yeah. Tell me about it.
yeah. And I feel it, the fact that I'm not writing it, I feel like a cripple that I depend on other people. But sometimes it's got wonderful collaboration. I work good with writers, and as what I told before about the set. Also, when I have even something very basic on script, I'm very good in developing it or
Ah.
remarking it or editing
But,
it.
a lot of directors don't write, but this is what they do. They can.
I think it used to be like the script,
Right.
the script advisor or
Right.
something rather new. When I started, I felt, or what I'm trying to do all the years is that the director is the script advisor or
Right. You speak about Martin Scorsese or everybody. Most directors, they collaborate, but there is a writer who gets
yeah.
first bidding for a screenwriter. It's not. Tell me, are you obsessed about the news? Do you listen a lot to news?
It depends. It changed from time to time. I used to be.
Oh.
I used to watch TV a lot, but let's say watch. I can't watch it, but I'm obsessed of see the headline of Wine, for example.
Right.
For this, I'm really obsessed. But then,
I don't watch.
especially the last year,
I'm addicted. So tell me, are you a kind of nostalgic about
yes,
the way you grew up?
very
You
much.
feel like you lost something that you're not sure we can recapture it again?
Yes,
I'm not a.
but I'm not sure. I'm not sure even the things that I felt that I lost. I'm not sure they're not were kind of illusion even then. But I like the illusion. I mean, it's not that I think in some parts of things were terrible even when I was young. But for me the feeling was that we are heroes, of course. I think the state of Israel, the renovation, the start of the state of Israel is kind of miracle,
Right.
and that we are good people, and we are doing something right, and I was very idealistic when I was young.
Oh, were you in a youth movement?
Yes, I was in the Boy Scouts.
Scout?
I
Yeah.
Come on, what you talking about? Sofim?
all the ranks, and also
Oh, come on, this
did
is ridiculous. This is not a youth movement. That was like a pleasure youth movement. It's not like we had the
no, no,
Torah
not
Oved,
at
no,
all.
the real ones. That was,
No, our scouts were very, very, very idealistic,
really.
very, very Zionistic, and very.
Did you go to the
No, it is-
kibbutz?
no,
Yeah.
I went to not develop. I went to 1 year of volunteering
Service, yeah.
in Katamonim in Jerusalem,
Oh, okay.
It's
which was
either
terrible, by the way.
either you
It was
go to a kibbutz or you go to service. Tzipi is stuck in her things, there's something, it's interesting because Tzipi is very nostalgic. She wants to go back.
I am from Square Dizengoff like you.
But hold on.
What?
She wants to go back. She
To the
wants
kibbutz?
things like they were. I'm always looking forward to
Okay,
see
look
what's
forward.
coming.
Okay, so see
And,
forward.
and she's
You have Trump soon.
she doesn't know what the scouts means because she was never there. Just that those days,
What do you mean
everybody
those
fought
days
each other.
it didn't change in your times? You were
No, the same.
the same.
Everybody were against
we were
each
in the
other.
same primary school. Come on, we
But
know life.
yeah, I know, but we look at things differently. There's something about I think it's about what's going on in Israel now. I think it's about the corona. It's about every humongous change. You try to hold on to what used to be, but there's nothing to hold on to because it's gone. And it's very uncertain to be on a ground that you're not sure what's there and if it stands on something. And you need to really, really, really be strong in order to be able to look forward and see what's coming.
So it's really
shaky.
Let's see if he thinks.
But how do you feel about it?
Yeah, what do you think will happen? There is a slice of light coming toward us? Light?
I think it might be a temporarily light, but the further future, I think I'm really, really worried about.
How old is your son? The one you said hello to him in the beginning. How old is your son?
He's 15 and a half.
Okay. So what do you think?
What future?
What future? Or what do you think? Do you think he can, like I tell my students, pick up the torch? We did ruin the world a little bit more. Our parents even, they think they were great. But never mind. What do you tell your son?
He lost the torch a little bit. We need to find it.
So his son, what do you tell him?
I think you might understand from what I said before about about art and about the torch, and I'm not sure there is really what thing that you can do.
Oh my God.
About
I think he will walk in the path of life thinking he cannot change, he cannot make things better. That's not
He's not this kind of person for now, and it might be changed. He's really focused
football.
on. No, and he's MMA fighter.
A what fight?
Kevin.
Oh, like the ninja? Ah,
No, martial arts. What is
Yeah.
wow, be careful.
uh,
Don't know him.
it's bringing a lot of good things for him.
Yeah.
Like really in the way that like you see the some films about your this
I think the martial arts help in terms of center your abilities and trust forces, so you can move around safer with yourself because you create your own world in a way. But it's interesting to see how this generation, the young generation, what they take from what's going on and how do they feel about because it's very different from what we know. And in Israel, really, things changed so much from the time that we all grew up and then further on. I'm just curious to see with what ingredients they move around in order to bring something to life. But
I don't know.
I think the only thing I don't know, we're really pessimistic, but I think the only thing that might be useful is not if I say, I may say our side, our youth. It's not, the problem is not our youth. The problem is the way, the education of the, what I call the other part.
Yeah,
And I think if we might change this, it's the only way, only chance that there's going to be change, but I'm not sure.
I don't see it happening now.
Do you want him to look for his future somewhere else? Do you want your son to go away from Israel and find a future somewhere else?
I want him to have the possibility. But for me, I think it's too late. And not only too late, I'm not only very nostalgic, I'm really a Tel Aviv patriot.
Yeah, I
And
can understand.
I like Tel Aviv so much, and I can't imagine living in a different.
You know, people ask me, because I don't like, I'm 6 months here and 6 months in Israel, so I really don't like here. It's like,
I think it's ideal.
not,
Yeah.
if you like Tel Aviv and Israel, it's not the ideal. But lately I learned that people asked, I think it was Ben Gurion, why, like, whatever he said, even the ficus speaks Hebrew.
The ficus
The ficus tree speaks Hebrew. You know, because I like ficus, you know, so I know exactly what you're saying. You know, I'm here, but actually I'm there all the time.
Today I usually ride my bike to work. Usually I ride my bike.
We don't know how to ride a bike, so we are the only one in Tel Aviv. Because we grew up in Dizengoff, it was dangerous. Our parents didn't allow us.
Everybody in my family.
And now there is a very, when I walk when I ride on my bike, I'm going on this, all the fruits of the ficus.
Yes,
it's like a sticky,
unbelievable. Yes.
Yeah.
sticky layer on the road.
Yeah. So what's next for you?
And it had some kind of smell, very strong smell.
Very strong.
Don't do it now. I just came back a few days ago, and
I felt that every time I felt this smell, these local smells, I feel that if I will be what I call an
you
exile,
won't have it.
I will die.
I agree with you.
You know what happens, that once you're away from Israel, everybody is looking for familiar signs and familiar smells and familiar feel. So I find myself wherever I am, this is like, and you look for the familiar things. Because listen, whatever you have, whatever you rooted in your childhood, this is what sticks with you forever.
Not everybody like that. Not in such an extreme.
Even if people don't report it to themselves,
right?
The childhood forms everything.
So what's next for you?
Right now, I'm working on a second season of a series that I didn't direct the first one. It's by Asfari.
Which one?
And it's very political. It's about
the one with the Knesset,
Oh,
yeah, with the Knesset.
It is nice.
It's great. Yeah, it's great. It's funny.
It's kind of funny.
It is nice, and this is amazing because he's like a prophet, and he knows like a lot of this season dealing with Kohelet.
Yeah,
amazing.
And when I read the script 6 months ago or 8 months ago, I heard the name Kohelet, but I wasn't sure.
He knew something because they are in the background for many years.
But just to say that Mulik Asfari is the Israeli, right?
I think we need I think we need a liberal group like Kohelet.
Same structure, just
in order to change
on our side. Yeah, the leading light.
I don't think it can happen.
Why?
I don't, because one of the major ingredients of those kinds of organizations, the people are very idealistic, very focused.
Tzili, come on.
Extreme way.
Tzili, for years, like maybe 20 years, I'm asking you to pick up the torch. I do think that there are people like that, also liberals. We don't know, we have to get them together. And I told you, to get them together. Don't, I
It's
mean,
a
come on.
little bit different. It's a little bit different.
אתה שומע מה אני אומרת? Do you know what I'm saying? I'm asking her.
Yes, I know. We have the new
We have the
foundation,
boomers
or
and
how
we
you
have
say
the people and the thinker and we have them. And
I think they are too polite.
why don't you and
Tzipi,
Tzili?
I think they're
Too polite, too polite.
No, well, yeah, right.
Because they consider the other side. They think differently. They will never
And
go
we are
to
not
the
willing to
extreme.
die for our ideas. We are
I
not
think
going
we
to
shouldn't
die
be
for our
polite
ideas.
anymore.
Yeah.
What?
But now we are less polite, a little
Wait,
bit.
what did you say?
That I think we shouldn't be polite.
I know.
anymore.
The demonstration
know
is
what?
starting to be not polite.
I really think that we have to be stronger. We don't have to think and consider it so much the other
Go do
side.
it.
And I don't think we need to come together. I think we should go all the way.
Go, do it, do it.
All the way.
I cannot do it. You can do it. If he doesn't believe that any film or something can change mind or whatever, then it need another action, and you can do it. Why don't you pick him up?
Together. It has
Yeah.
to
Why
come
don't you
together.
get?
She loves to give other people jobs.
Right.
You know, she doesn't.
I do what I do. What I cannot do what you can do.
Eitan, we have to stop her. Okay.
We have to. Eitan, did you hear me? So why don't you pick up the porch with her? You may join.
We
get
all
your son
do
in
in our way. We all do in our
No
way.
time to wait. Okay, listen.
We do a lot, many years.
Right. So let's start. Let's end when we start. Where we start, because he can say whatever he wants, but a lot of things that you did had an influence. You left your mark. People are going culturally, and not also in terms of איך קוראים להנדס, היום, today we talk a lot about engineering our minds.
Yeah.
Too much engineered, but in a different way,
We
positive
always
way.
engineered.
And we were not aware of it. We didn't think when we grew up.
Always engineered.
We didn't understand this term even.
Doesn't matter. You always getting.
But your stuff, whatever you did, everything you touched, I think it did move a little bit, many, many people. So,
I hope so.
Yeah, I know it.
Eitan, thank you.
Thank you very much.
I hope we can have better things to say next time.
Yes.
We'll take time.
Thank you for coming. Thank you, Tzili.
Bye, Tzip, and
thank you so much.
See you next week.
Right.
Okay.
Shana tova.